get started. Are you ready? Yeah. Feeling good? Thanks for coming out tonight. Hey, this show is a little different from, if you've ever seen a stage hypnotism show before, most of the other stage hypnotism shows that you've seen, and you're going to see that. Take out your phone, and up at the top of this slide, you can see it says join at menti.com. If you open your browser on your phone, go to menti.com and then use that code 6773-8180. This is an interactive hypnotism show. You're actually going to get to vote on what you want to see happen on stage throughout the course of the show. So if you don't want to vote, you can simply just sit there and watch the show. You don't have to do it. But if you'd like to have a say in how the show goes, this is your way to do it. And to help you get you all make sure you're all logged in and that it's working properly, I have a couple questions here. So the first one is, have you been hypnotized before? We've got 9 no's, 10 no's, no yeses so far. All right. This helps me, it gives me a sense of kind of how each audience, each night that I perform is a little different. And this gives me a sense of that as well. So overwhelmingly, all no's. Okay. So we don't have any experienced hypnotic subjects. That's okay. That means we get to share it with people for the very first time. That's pretty cool. That's great. How about actually seeing a show? Have you ever seen a live hypnosis show before? Or is this your first time? Wow, okay. That's actually, it usually breaks down at about 2 to 1 first-timers to people who have seen shows. So a little more heavy on the no end tonight, but that's all right. Again, there's no right or wrong. It just helps me figure out. What this tells me usually, what I'm looking for here, is if you haven't seen a show before, which 15 of you are saying that you haven't, people who haven't seen a hypnosis show before usually are basing a lot of their understanding of what you would see tonight or what you think is going to happen based on movies and television, what you've seen, how you've seen hypnosis portrayed in movies and TV. And so I just need to spend a little time. I want you to understand, almost universally, whatever you see in a movie or a television show regarding hypnosis is inaccurate. The people who write scripts for movies and television shows, they're trying to maximize the dramatic effect of the story that they're telling. And so they take a lot of liberties when they use storylines with hypnosis. So this tends to translate to things like hypnosis in movies and television shows often looks very much like mind control, almost like total mind control, right? It's really not at all. Hypnosis is a mild dissociative state, which so is daydreaming, right? Like daydreaming is something that occurs naturally, it happens in your brain. You don't have to tell yourself that you're going to do it, you just do. Hypnosis is very much like that. It's what we broadly refer to as trance. Tonight we're going to do it on purpose. You're going to choose to turn it on purpose. That's a little different. But the key idea here is that it's not a superpower that I wield as a hypnotist. It's not some form of voodoo or black magic. It's a skill set that I've learned how to do and that I can help you learn how to do as well for yourself. And that's really what we do. We work together to help you put yourself into hypnosis. What keeps you from volunteering to be hypnotized? These are probably the 4 most common fears that I've learned. I've been hypnotizing people since 2004, 19 years. I've hypnotized over 30,000 people. And when I talk to folks, these same fears come up over and over again. First one is always the biggest one. I mean, someday it could not be, but every time I do this, first one is the biggest one, the fear of being embarrassed. I totally can understand that. I just want you to understand, embarrassing people is not a good business strategy, right? Like the idea is you come to a program like this to have fun. And I sustain my business by getting invited back to universities and colleges over and over again. Probably not going to happen if I develop a reputation of really embarrassing and humiliating people. It's not pro-student, so it's just not a good strategy. So my goal when I come to schools is to let you have fun, to help you have a novel experience, to learn that you can do hypnosis when maybe you didn't ever think you could, stuff like that. That's what my focus is more on. I'm not trying to embarrass anybody. Don't want to tell your secrets, again, pretty normal, pretty common, but the thing you just want to think about with that is, again, we're not here to try to expose people's secrets. Your hypnosis context is really quite specific. You come to the show knowing it's an entertainment event. If you choose to get hypnotized, it's because you want to experience hypnosis. Finding out your secrets is not any part of that, and people don't spontaneously just disclose their secrets when they go into hypnosis. Again, that's not how it works. That's not at all how hypnosis works. So hopefully that sets your mind a little more at ease. I don't think hypnosis is real. Again, this is always, anytime we gather people, there's a broad sample of what people think and believe in. The simple reality is you're clearly wrong. And if you would take the time to go to Google Scholar or the PubMed site, the National Institute of Health database, there's all decades and decades of research that clearly show at this point that hypnosis is real. They've put people EEG caps on and measured their brain activity. They've put them in functional MRI tubes and scanned their brain in real time. We can see how people's brain activity changes when they go into hypnosis. There is most definitely physical changes happening in the brain networks when people go into hypnosis. That's irrefutable at this point. Hypnosis is real. Now, if you don't think you can be hypnotized, that's a different issue. And sometimes people sort of put them together, but absolutely, positively, hypnosis is real. I have stage fright. Again, super common. It's a really common fear that many, many people have. What I like to say about this is, again, I've done this for 19 years, over 30,000 people. This really cool thing happens sometimes. I can never guarantee it. I can never promise it. But stage fright is a socially constructed fear. You weren't born with stage fright. You developed it over time, right? And when you go into hypnosis, a lot of your socially constructed fears, they just go away because you're using your brain differently and you're not self-monitoring the same way as you are in normal daily living. And so the really interesting thing is, it's actually pretty common. Like, I'll have people that they do have stage fright, but at the same time, they also have a natural curiosity about what it's like to get hypnotized. And so that curiosity wins out, and they get hypnotized. And then when they get hypnotized, they don't care about the stage fright, because again, that gets set aside when they're using their brain differently. So the really neat thing about that is then they get hypnotized for about an hour, 45 minutes to an hour, and then when it's all done, and they're done with the hypnosis, they realize they've been hypnotized, they were on stage for all that time, and they felt no fear at all. And so then it's this really interesting moment where you go, well, do you really need that fear then anymore? Like, you just totally functioned without it in a really wonderful way for 45 minutes, an hour. It's a pretty neat thing to have as an experience. So that could happen for you tonight if you're open to it. I can't promise it, I can't guarantee it, but it's been really helpful for a bunch of people. So those are the most common things. Again, big overarching points. Natural, normal, it's healthy, there's no health risks, there's no side effects. It's just a change in brain activity, right? You're already built for it, your brain can do it. It's just a question of whether you feel comfortable with doing it. You must want to do it. You must choose to do it. I cannot make you do it. So literally, there's going to be a point in a few minutes where I'm going to say to you, would you like to be hypnotized? And if you want to, in your mind, you just go, yeah, I want to do it. And you're signifying to yourself that you're okay with it. If you don't want to do it, in your mind you say no, and then you don't follow any of the directions I give. You're not going to get hypnotized if you don't follow the directions. What do you think? Ready to get started? Yeah! Nice to be here. You having a good day? So, and the week is done. You got a little fun. Then you start your weekend. It's going to be so great. I'm Paul, professional hypnotist. Glad you're here. How many of you have ever seen a hypnosis show before? Fair amount of you. All right, cool. There's something a little bit different about my show. I've been doing this since 2004. I've hypnotized over 30,000 people, and I've always been striving to just find something to do it different, you know? And so what we're gonna do over the course of this evening is I'm gonna put choices up on this video screen, and you're gonna be able to vote for what you want to see happen on stage using your phones. So let's get that set up right now. I'll talk to you a little bit about how this show is gonna work, and then we'll get right into the fun stuff. Take out your phones, open your browser on your phone, and go to menti.com. Once you get there, you can enter this PIN number at the top of the screen, 7190884. It will get you into the voting file, the voting application. There you go. Why did you come to this hypnosis show? Be honest. It's anonymous. I won't know what you said. All good reasons. There is no right or wrong. Look at how many of you were bored. Holy cow. If you've never seen a hypnosis show before and you're curious, that's wonderful. When you want to get hypnotized, curiosity is a huge factor.
right? So if you're genuinely curious and enthusiastic about the idea of having a new and novel experience, curiosity is wonderful for that. If you want to be hypnotized, 10 of you at least, 11, we can get it up more, maybe, you never know, but that's great. The more good hypnotic subjects we get on stage, the better the quality of the show is. It's a numbers game, plain and simple. So that's awesome. I'm glad you're here. I'm so excited you're here. If you were bored, procrastinating, and needing something to do, this is something to do. How lucky are you? This whole show is designed to be fun. I want you to enjoy yourselves. I want you to have a good time. If you don't want to be hypnotized, you absolutely do not have to be. As one of the most common misconceptions out there is that hypnotists can make you do it against your will. Absolutely not. If you don't want to be hypnotized, you just think to yourself, I'm not doing this, and you don't follow the directions. Yeah, guys, you're good. Your seat's up here. Come in, sit down, make yourself comfortable. Right? So you just don't follow the directions and you don't get hypnotized. Really easy, really simple. Okay? Let's try another one. What would make this show a great experience for you? Getting hypnotized, laughing a lot, seeing something that blows your mind. Laughing is good, right? Laughing is good for the soul. It's actually good for you physically. It's good for your health. I would love it if you laughed and laughed and laughed tonight. In fact, I want to encourage you, as this show is happening, the early part, when we're actually hypnotizing people, we need to be quiet, which you're already doing wonderfully. You're very polite and respectful, and I appreciate that. When we start doing fun stuff, please, by all means, laugh, clap, cheer. Because what I want you to understand is that hypnosis is a state in which people become more highly suggestible. And that goes for sort of energetic expression as well. So when we first get people hypnotized, they're going to be very relaxed and they'll be in this more focused state of the mind. But then, in addition to what I'm saying and I'm asking to do, the hypnotic suggestions that I give, they are aware of you. Hypnosis is a conscious state. So if they hear you clapping and cheering, they will frame that in their mind as, it's good energy, right? And so the more good energy you give them, the more they're going to get into the whole situation. And then the better they're going to do, and the more you're going to be entertained. So it's all a big cooperative kind of giving and taking, right? We're all helping each other. So by all means, like, I think more and more lately I've seen, ever since the pandemic, people got sort of out of the habit of going to live entertainment. So now they tend to be a little more reserved when they're at events like this. Like when we get going and we're doing the fun stuff, laugh all you want, clap and cheer all you want, have a good time. That's what we're here for. If hypnosis can make your life better, which of these ways would you choose? Would it be cool to feel less stressed? Would it be cool to sleep better? Would it be good to feel more confident? Would it be good to make more friends? All appropriate and reasonable answers. No right or wrong. If you should feel curious enough and open-minded enough as to allow yourself to be hypnotized tonight, here's the great thing about this. These are all smart, good reasons, and I'm glad that you can identify that some of them would have value for you. If you get hypnotized tonight, we're here to have fun, as I've already said. But just the simple act of showing yourself that you can be hypnotized now opens up a door for you. And then you realize you actually can be hypnotized. And then, if you want, you can go to YouTube and you can use free hypnosis programs on YouTube to help you manage your stress, to sleep better at night, to feel more confident, to make more friends. If you really want to get specialized attention, you can find a practicing hypnotist who sees clients, and you can go to them and say, I'd really like you to help me with this, right? It's up to you to what level you want to do it, but it all starts with knowing that you actually can be hypnotized. So allowing yourself to do it in this fun environment, and then being like, holy cow, I can actually do it, it's pretty great. And all of these things are genuinely available to you. And I would wish all of them for you, right? I think these are great. I want you to be able to have them. You can learn self-hypnosis, like meditating, just a little bit different. And you could work on any of these and all of these in your life. And with just 5-10 minutes a day. And you'd be amazed. The fastest one would be sleep. And those of you who do volunteer for this show tonight, I can't guarantee it, but I can tell you I've hypnotized over 30,000 people. Most people who get hypnotized in my show have the best night of sleep they've had in a long, long time. It's very good for altering your brainwaves and prepping you to sleep better. So, another reason to give it a try tonight. Well, you're in, you're doing the voting, you get it, it's working, awesome, okay? So let's do something to get to the next place, which is finding out who might actually be able to be hypnotized tonight.